Good evening, everybody. We're on episode number 3.
Number 3.
Welcome to Into the Vortex.
This took this man 4 times just to be able to get up the courage to start the show.
Yep. I'm not good at this. I'm trying, though, at least. So, what are we talking about today?
Your day.
Your day also. I've been with you all day.
You almost lost a buck today.
Almost. Oh, yeah.
Well.
We did
lose it.
And then we thought it died.
It was like a 10, 11 point, maybe even a 12. We haven't got a really good picture of it.
Motherfucker. That was the biggest deer that's probably come on by.
We've been hunting that bastard since August.
Yeah. Saw it popped up.
Yeah, we were going to do a live show of the game, and, we were like a minute in, and then the deer camera went off. Big motherfucker. We run out here like Elmer Fudd with our rifle. Running across 20 acres. We get down there, had the deer in the scope, in the sights,
ready to pull the trigger.
and then somebody pulls in the fucking driveway and activates the gate, and the motherfucker ran off.
And then we sat in the barn for about,
30 minutes.
40 minutes. Next thing you hear a shot go off behind the feeder. And we're all like, fuck.
There goes the deer. We've been hunting since August.
I was upset for like 5 hours.
3.
Close enough. Same thing. 3, 5. I was pissed.
Then we're back in here watching the Texas game, losing our fucking shit. Nate's over here in his fucking hoodie. I'm literally pulling my hair out of my head. Yeah. And then the camera goes off again. And now there's 4 bucks that are legal to shoot. And Big Boy was there. He is alive.
Yes, sir.
I hit the wrong one there, but we want to do it. We want to do an applause. We got lucky.
I was so happy. But it was after the 30 minutes you can shoot.
Yeah.
All of them decided to show up all at once.
At the same fucking time. They know. I mean, once you get that big of a rack, you're at on any of these deer feeders, they're just watching their boys get gunned down, and they learn.
Yeah, you traumatized the whole family on the first one you shot.
I did. They didn't come back for a fucking week.
Longer than that. It was like 2.
Yeah. And I still haven't seen those babies again.
Nope.
So how about that? How about that Texas game?
Don't get me started.
Dude.
Highly upsetted.
Texas beat Texas.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase. Texas beat themselves. Texas lost against themselves.
Yep. Why would you try to go for the end zone multiple times during overtime?
I don't think Quinn Ewers is 100% ready to play in this type of game, in this environment right now. With that ankle injury, he still doesn't leave the pocket. He doesn't run. I mean, we already know the Texas Longhorns they don't have any running backs in the running back running back room, right? They were all injured prior to the season. They've been out all season. So like their run game has been okay, but he's not running. He can't get out of the pocket.
That's why you
put
in Archie.
Arch went in for 1 snap and gained 7 yards and came back out during overtime.
And that was it. That's all we saw.
I do firmly believe if we had Arch in the game, if they were just swapping out doing the 2 quarterback system most of the game, they would have won. Like we know Ewers can, he's in the 80% of pass completions. But I mean, he also threw like shit tonight. He had a couple good passes, and then he had several passes that were completely misses, overshot. And they lost against themselves.
Bad play calls overall, too.
But you know what's crazy here is there's an opportunity that Texas is going to play Georgia a 3rd time this year.
We already lost the series, bub. They're up.
So the likelihood of both of those teams going to the playoffs is very high. So what that game did do is whoever won that game is likely to have a bye week, first round.
Yeah.
So Texas goes in. They're going to play the first round. Say they keep winning. There's a chance that we're going to see Georgia versus Texas potentially at the championship. However, there is a monster afoot, and that's the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, we're actually watching the game right now.
Quack, quack. Oh, it's actually getting pretty close. And then the fourth quarter right now, 14-17. Oregon is up
38-30.
38-30.
Okay, but here's the real question. How long do you think Carson Beck is going to be out?
He's going to be out the rest of the season. I'm sure he's got a tear in his elbow. But they had to pull their secondary out. And I'm sure it's for concussion protocol. That was one fucking gnarly hit.
Yeah.
That man's helmet went flying, and that boy grabbed his chest piece of his pads and just flew sideways. And the look on his face.
His face was priceless.
Bro, that is literally the face of college football this season. Nothing has been normal.
No.
Arizona State was supposed to be the bottom of the Big 12. They just won the Big 12 championship.
In Jerry's world, baby.
Fucking Jerry. Dude, I am still so pissed about the Cowboys. Are they playing this weekend?
I think so. I don't know against who. I forgot.
It's not like they're going to win anyways.
Hey, watch it.
It's true, man. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I have absolutely no sort of...
You love Patrick Mahomes.
I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan. I've been a fan of his play since he played for
good.
Texas Tech.
I ain't gonna lie. He is good.
But what's been really weird is some of the play calls, not the play calls, but the referee. I feel like there has been a little bit of referee interference when it comes to Patrick Mahomes this season. I do think the NFL wants to see their first three-peat.
I think it's been done, but it was
it's never been done. This will be the first ever three-peat if the Kansas City Chiefs pulls off another Super Bowl win.
I don't think it will happen.
You don't think so?
No.
We all know that I already won this bet. My spread hit for the Texas-Georgia game. 6 and over.
Yeah.
And you want to make another bet?
No. I mean, it's 1-1. You know, I won one. You won this one.
Yeah, we haven't paid any of these bets out yet.
No,
you want to just wash these first two?
Expensive.
You want to just wash these first two? I don't think so. Actually, I wouldn't mind washing that steakhouse bet. That's going to be expensive.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think on that.
You already said in the other episode it's a hell no.
Yeah, but then I lost this one, and I'm like...
Do you understand how expensive these kids are? You take them to a trampoline park? You can't be saying no to them if they want to drink. It's all on your dime. Their entertainment and their willpower and what they want, it is coming out of your credit card.
My bank account is going to go from hero to zero.
This right now is your last opportunity to just wash those two bets right now.
I'll think on it.
You have 15 seconds. You're on the clock.
15 seconds on the clock. Let's see. Steakhouse, trampoline park. I think they cost about the same.
You're going to cry. 10, 9, 8.
Why are you putting me on the
7,
spot?
6, 5, 4.
Oh, here he goes.
And if you don't choose, I choose. 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yes to what?
We can wash it.
I knew you were going to say that.
Of course.
So what's this next bet? And this next bet, there's got to be ground rules. If there is a bet termination, it has to be part of the initial bet.
Okay. I don't know. I'm going to have to really think on that.
My bet, I'll bet you right now.
What's that?
The Chiefs go to the Super Bowl.
Chiefs go to the Super Bowl and win? Or they just go to the Super Bowl?
They just go.
I don't think they will. I think they'll end up losing.
All right, it's on. Steakhouse.
Steak? Oh, now you want to do the steakhouse again?
Yeah, because I want to win this one. And there can be absolutely no backing out, no erasing each other's side of the bet. You can't wash. Deal?
All right, that's a deal. Ready?
I'll take that W.
You ready? I'm just kidding.
I will pass on your fucking loogie spread.
You got to make it official.
Oh, it's official. It's recorded.
Somehow.
That's what got you earlier. We talked about this. You're like, I didn't say that. I'm like, it's recorded.
Somehow this recording can just go poof.
It's going to be in every major platform within the next 3 hours anyways.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I know. I'm always right.
Okay. All right.
Well, it's been raining all day here, so unfortunately we weren't able to set up our studio.
Nope.
That was kind of a bummer.
Non-stop. All day.
It's
all
a
night.
fucking mud pit out there. When we were fucking Elmer Fudd running down the fucking field, I thought I was going to slip and die.
I've slipped a couple times.
I slipped right into the shed.
Had to put my Crocs in 4x4.
Shoot, I forgot I even had that available to me. I don't usually wear Crocs.
We were just ready to get this deer.
Dude, I'm still upset about that motherfucker.
At least he's
deer.
alive.
We've been hunting this deer since August.
Yep.
And this big ass boy shows up in the middle of the afternoon. He has never done that. He's always like 12 hours later. He's a 3 o'clock in the morning kind of deer. And he showed up in 3 in the afternoon.
Just the most random time.
Yeah. Fuck that deer. He's gonna become some nice jerky sticks
Oh, yeah.
in the
Some
morning. We're gonna get his ass.
Jalapeno cheese sausage.
I might have one of those later for a snack. But anyways, so we got our wives here today, and
Again.
we have a really interesting conversation. We're gonna talk about fucking ghosts. Nate, you have a ghost story?
Do I have a ghost story?
Yeah. Well, let me rephrase. Do you believe in ghosts?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Lacey, do you believe in ghosts?
110%.
I know you are crazy with those damn candles. We'll get into that conversation later.
Shelby, do you believe in
Shelby?
ghosts?
Yeah, I would say I do. I don't think I've had much experience with them, but they're out there for sure.
Okay. Who wants to give the first story? I personally, I can't remember a time. I haven't experienced like a ghost event,
You haven't seen a ghost?
but I've seen Bigfoot.
Oh, God.
Oh
We're
my.
not even going to get into that.
Here we go.
I have seen ghosts.
I have seen the Sasquatch.
Is that yourself in the mirror?
Wow.
That was a good one.
That was funny.
That was
a good
Nate's
one.
Harry's butthole. But no.
Oh, that's how we're going to play tonight. Okay.
No. No. I'm not. I'll get into my story a little later. Nate, I want to hear yours.
I mean, okay. So, I would say, sadly, 3 years ago, my mama passed. And now, I could just be standing, let's say, just sitting in the living room, and I would see, this black figure just walk past like nothing.
How soon after your mom passed did you witness that?
I would say maybe a year later I started seeing all that.
So it's not like something that was just in your head right there and the emotions.
No.
It was straight up a
I
year
can't
later.
tell you. I don't know if it was in my head. This was maybe after a week. I was sitting in the living room, no kids, no wife. I was sorry about that. I was sitting in the living room working. Just minding my business. No TV, nothing. And I hear her voice go, "Hello?" And my head snapped off to the right. And I was like, "Hello?" I thought somebody was in the house.
Were you even thinking about her then in that moment?
Nope.
Or just
I was just trying to get my work done. It was insane. People could think, "Oh, this is just emotions, whatever." No. It sounded just like her voice out in the middle of the living room.
Did you hear any sort of or not hear anything, but did you feel like a cold presence or?
No, it was just random. It was just a random hello. Exactly in her voice.
That's strange, man.
I had, how when something's true, you ended up getting goosebumps? Yeah, I had goosebumps for at least 30 minutes. It was, ooh.
Dude, that's wild.
I'm getting goosebumps right now.
I mean, mine was the same. I was probably 11 when my grandmother had passed, and I had the same sort of instance. We were at home. I had gotten up one night in the middle of the night to get a drink, and my mom had a wine fridge, and the light on the wine fridge would go on and off, on and off. And it's like 11 o'clock at night. There's nobody else except me in the kitchen. And the wine fridge was unplugged. My parents weren't even using it. So I was like, well, okay. And then I had seen her, I guess you could call it like a figure, except she wasn't black, she was white. The figure was white. So.
That's crazy.
No, I totally get when you're like, see figures, because it happens. Sometimes it still happens to me.
Oh, yeah. Like,
oh shit.
I would even, like, yes, it's dreams. Like, I would even have dreams of, like, me walking through my grandparents', like, let's say kitchen laundry room, and I would hit into the garage, and it would feel like there's this figure just, like, holding me back, taking away my voice or whatnot. It's weird.
But that's just in your dreams?
Yeah.
Well, that's not really a ghost.
I mean, but
That sounds a little demonic.
and it would happen.
This man, I mean, there's a little side note. There's been a time we're in the deer stand and he's asleep, but not asleep, and he's frozen. He has like night terrors.
Oh, that's what is it called? Sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
That shit is real.
I know. You have some weird sleep issues, my guy.
I was in the deer stand and I could hear you talking, and I'm like, hello. I can hear y'all, but I can't do anything. Can't say nothing. Nada.
That's weird. I haven't had that before.
No, not at all.
No. I mean, the closest thing that I would say I've seen of paranormal activity would be when that's not really paranormal. Like, it's a kind of a sleep thing too. Like,
Yeah.
there's been several times
They call it your sleep demon or something like that.
There's been several times in my life where I'm sleeping and I have a dream of something, okay? And we'll go to the Fort Hood shooting, right? That happened several years ago. I dreamt of that entire incident. And,
Like you were in it.
yeah, and I told my mother about it.
Yeah.
Like, she was dropping me off at junior high. And I told her about it. And I said, something bad's going to happen on Fort Hood today. A lot of people are going to get shot. I had a dream about it last night. And she's like, okay. I was like, yeah. And then we're in class, and then we go on lockdown. And I'm like, whoa, what's happening? And come to find out what actually happened. And my mom, she came to me, and she's like, how did you know that? I was like, I have no idea. I just had a dream. It's just like I have these weird dreams sometimes.
That same thing happened to me. And it took me a really long time to get over my grandmother's death, because I had a dream that she had died. And I didn't tell anybody. I didn't, go and tell my mom. And it took me forever to get over that.
Did you, feel guilty?
Yeah. I couldn't tell my mom and my aunt right away.
Have you ever told them?
Eventually, yeah. I think it took, probably 6-7 months after she had died. And, I mean, it ate me alive to the point where I was like, I have to tell somebody, because
Just that guilty conscience.
inside and out, I can't do it.
Wow.
What about you, Shelby? Any ghost stories?
No, I haven't really had any of those. I mean, like I said, like I believe y'all. Like I believe that stuff happens, but I can't think off the top of my head any time I've had any like dream or.
Yeah. What's crazy is like right now as we're speaking, after that whole story I just spewed, I just felt like somebody just touched my shoulder.
Yeah, that was my mother as she walked by.
Oh, was it? I was like, what is happening here?
I mean, I feel like I have dreams about, like my grandparents or my grandpa that's passed or, my mother in law, that sort of thing. But I've never, like, been awake and sensed them there.
I I'm sure it drives Tyler crazy, but I'm a very spiritual person. Like, and so is my mom and my aunt. We're all very spiritual, not crazy spiritual, but
I beg to differ.
no. But
Come on. I want to get into that for a moment because that was some of the weirdest things I've witnessed.
well, let's get into
You
it
do
then.
it and your mom does it. And I mean, so I don't even remember what exactly it was.
I'll tell you. So back when we were at the Judy apartment, I was working at Stony Brook, and it had just been a week of deaths. I mean, they were back to back. Well, yeah, and but
They come in threes,
it was like every shift I was on, there was a death. And so
And that was what? That was a nursing home you worked at, right?
yeah, when I worked at the nursing home, and it started weighing on me. I could feel it emotionally. Like, I'd come home from work and I was exhausted. I barely even wanted to shower and change out of my work clothes. So I had reached out to my mom, and my mom had reached out to her friend who went to school for this. She studied all this kind of stuff, the Wiccan and the spiritual and the supernatural and all of that. We went through, and basically I had a white candle lit for 3 or 4 days to absorb that negative energy that I had assumed from the nursing home.
Why is it specifically a white candle?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what? Yeah, I need to know
because there's
more.
certain colors. So, like, obviously white is for peace and release. Like, when you go to a funeral, you're not...
It's all
there's
about
not
the
black
energy,
candles
right?
there.
It's all
Yeah.
about energy, right?
Right. It's different kinds of energies. Same with red and purple. Like, they all have a sort of different meaning. And I guess the white was supposed to be peaceful and, like, cleansing and just overall that good energy. Because when I had talked to my mom's friend about it, she was like, I can tell that there's something sitting with you.
That's scary.
And
Well,
I
like
mean,
a spirit or like what exactly?
whether it was a spirit or the emotions from said spirits, like it. I don't want to deep dive into it a lot because I don't want to mistakenly talk about it. But there are people who are like empaths and things like that who just absorb all of it.
What was really weird about the whole situation is she had candles like lit for days.
I left this
It's a
one
fire hazard.
particular white candle.
For like a week.
It was 4 days.
You put everybody's lives at risk in this apartment complex.
No, because the candle was lit with good intentions.
Oh, like that's
And
gonna
I
keep
think
it
that's
from
why.
catching
You
the
know,
house on fire.
I'm sure a lot of people who
My
I'm
mom
not
did the
dinging
same
this at
thing.
all.
How
I just
many
thought this
times-
was strange when I first witnessed it. And this is some of the stuff I said. Like Lacey has a bunch of these Snapchat stories saved, and she'll post these later. But good intention. I mean, if I go set a bonfire right now, I have good intention on burning that wood, but I don't have good intention on burning the whole fucking forest if it gets out of control.
That's different.
It's different because
You
you're
can't
doing
argue
it.
with me about this. My mom has done it too. We did it at our last house. How many days did those
I know we
candles at
had
our
this
last house
very
burn for?
we had this very evil man that your dad worked with for a while. He was cool for a while, but he got real weird, real fast, and real fast,
Yeah.
and he kind of like
He
hung
just
on.
he had a bad energy. And
Yeah, it was just weird. But
the
anyways,
problem is,
we can get into that
myself,
story at
my
a whole
mom-
nother time. But when that happened, your mom, what do they call it when
Sage.
she saged everybody's house, everybody's vehicles that he rode in, and it
'cause
got
he
rid
had
of all
bad
that bad energy. And you know what was weird about it? And I didn't believe in this stuff initially, okay? But after that situation, I felt like there was energy released around me. Maybe that's just like a placebo effect, but I did feel a little different.
No, I mean it's supposed to be that sort of release thing. That's where that comes into play.
No, I felt different after that, but the first time you started doing it, I thought you were fucking crazy.
Do you think I'm crazy now?
Babe, I always think you're crazy.
Yes.
There's not much I can do about that.
Real quick.
but Listen.
Real quick. Don't you have a story, Tyler, about like a next door neighbor and like all these toys lighting
my
up all at
God,
once?
yes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh,
So, yeah, we lived in
We had
Killeen.
just moved in.
Killeen, one of the most crime-infested cities in Central
Yeah.
Texas. But
It's
so
out there.
we're inside our house, and it's, 9 o'clock at night?
It was late.
It
I was
was
trying to
late.
put Emma down. It was late.
Yeah, she was a newborn, and I think we were like sitting in the living room. We were watching like something on Netflix or something. And this dude comes up to my door, rings the doorbell. It's fucking late, and I grab my weapon. I don't know. It's fucking Killeen, right? We've seen some weird shit at that Killeen house.
Yeah, that neighborhood was weird.
Some weird shit. Man, I can't believe I forgot about this. So I answered the door, and he's pale as a fucking ghost.
Wasn't he a soldier?
He was a GI in the army. He was pale as a fucking ghost. He was in his army uniform.
Like he had just gotten off.
Yeah. And he's like, man, can you come help me look through my house? I said, for what? And I got my gun on my hip, right? And he's like, dude, I think there's someone in my house. I was like, what do you mean? As I'm walking over there with him, he said, all these lights, all the toys, no one's in here. I opened the
His
door.
daughter's toys.
All his daughter's toys all lit up. And I was like, okay. And so I clear the house with him. We're not waiting on the Killeen Police Department. They're going to take fucking all day to show up.
Yeah.
So I clear it with him. And as we were both, like, we didn't see anything. I was like, okay, dude, maybe you're just a little crazy. We walk into the living room, and literally all the toys on the ground started lighting up, all the light up toys and noisemakers. He's like, see, this is what happened. I said, dude, there's no one here. He's like, this place is so fucking haunted. I'm out.
Oh wow.
And they moved out. I forgot about that.
They didn't move out right away.
No, it was within a month.
He was here first.
But what was weird about
And
that
his
house,
wife and kids were supposed to come
and they
after.
never came.
They
What
never
was
came.
weird about, and he moved out. And then
Yeah.
the other people moved in, which this house was like a church house. Like it's owned by some church in Killeen.
It's owned by the church, and then they rent it out to
Families in need or families like transitioning in the military.
yeah.
But they never came, his family never came, and he was out fast.
I would be out
And
too.
after that it sat vacant for a while.
Yeah, they remodeled it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild.
I'll
But
never
I want to
forget
get
you
into some of the
coming
other.
Back inside, and
I fucking told you that. I was like, what the fuck?
You were like, I don't know what just happened. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, where'd you go? I was trying to put the
You
baby
said I was
down.
pale when I came back too.
Yeah. And you were like, I went next door. And I was like, okay, what'd you do next door?
Oh
like,
my
why do you
gosh.
look like this? And
Okay,
you were
but
like,
are you sure? Like, there's some toys out there that like They're sold
Motion-
separately,
motion
They were like
sensor?
20. There were like 20 different toys.
like
And I
completely
know
different.
sometimes like the Fisher
All
Price
different. They weren't
ones,
all the
like,
same
if
shit.
one goes
And
off,
we
they all
weren't.
kind of go off. But I don't think it
We
was
didn't
like
even
that.
walk next to those toys.
Really.
They
Well,
all lit up at the same time.
There's some toys. I mean, that's weird, but there are some toys that just like can sense motion or like. You're
Like they're like different type of animals.
Okay, so
And
here
you-
I'm gonna put you in for another
what you're
loop.
thinking about is the
He
No,
picked
I
one
believe
off.
you.
He picked one up, and it was turned off.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
okay.
weird.
There you
But-
go.
You know what that makes me think of though, is Emma. How she's been sitting up lately, and that
God, don't even get me
that girl
started on that.
freaks me out sometimes. With
Oh,
this,
she's like her dad. She
this,
sleep
like,
talks and
sleep
sleepwalks.
talks and stuff.
Tyler, he keeps convincing me. He's like, it's normal. I did the same thing, and I'm like,
I did.
it's not.
It is
It
normal.
just it. I love
That doesn't
it to
sound
death,
normal.
But there's sometimes where I'm like, I'm about to lock you in a room and you freaking me out, girl.
Well, and Tyler's like, if she sleeps to walk, it's normal, and I'm like, no, it's not.
I did it until
We live in a
I s-
3-story house.
It's-
I still
not
do
normal.
it.
Okay, but it's not
You
normal.
don't sleepwalk anymore. You sleep talk a lot, but
I slept walk when we were in the clean house.
That's not what
When?
I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you told me this story the other day about how she got out of bed and was talking to the wall.
yeah, she was telling the
That's
wall
freaking
Okay.
me out.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's
Or how
That's
she sits
not
up
normal.
and like you call her name.
That's
and
not
she,
normal
Like,
at
My
all.
she'll
little
look
brother
at
used
you.
to have full conversations with the wall in his sleep.
But,
I
like,
think
she
the
sits up
scariest
and
thing
she
is
looks at
sits up
you.
and she'll look at you. Her eyes are open and everything, but there's no lights
It's-
on inside.
Yeah.
She's not awake. It's
Yeah.
just her eyeballs are open and she's like,
Do you remember the story my mother told you about her looking for this pink blanket she got in Korea?
yeah, and you ate it.
That's what I told her. She
Yeah.
asked all of us, and she went in there.
She
I
still
sat
hasn't
up,
found that
looked
blanket
right at her
yet.
with my eyes on. I was about to say with my lights on, with my eyes on, and I said I ate it. I was dead ass asleep.
She still hasn't found that blanket though.
He
She
ate
found it. I
no,
ate
she
it.
told
You
me
know
the
that.
other day she hasn't found it.
Yeah, I'm constipated all the time.
The blanket is stuck in him.
It's gonna live with you forever.
I was
No,
at
but
20
it
pounds I
definitely did
gained back
freak me
then.
out. Because
Never
Tyler
gonna
and I were
lose that.
getting ready for bed. We had been up. She had fallen asleep pretty early. We turned the TV off. We turned the lights off, and then that's when she has this like sleep talking episode, and I was like, "What the fuck is?"
But
going
she was
on?
also on all those medications for the respiratory infection
no.
too.
I was telling Lacey this, and I said I definitely think that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
That and like, I mean, this is kind of something I wanted us to talk about like more on our podcast, but just like these technology like overstimulating the kids and stuff.
I never wanted
makes-
Emma to have a tablet.
It makes their brain just like they can't shut off, misfiring, all that stuff.
I
Yeah.
never wanted her to have a tablet.
I will say though, her tablet does come in handy.
It's a convenience for us.
Yeah.
The wrong move. It's the wrong move, and
But
we messed that up, and we will make sure we
You
do
don't-
not mess that up with the next one.
You don't see kids like play outside anymore, just throwing a football around.
Yeah, because we're busy doing stuff, and we want them to be distracted. It's our fault. It's our fault.
Did I tell y'all this story yesterday about the pre-K we had a couple years back who had a phone? I mean, why does a 4-year-old need a phone? It was an iPhone too.
Yeah, we did talk about that. And then another kid had an AirTag.
Well, I mean that makes a little bit
The
more
AirTag
sense.
makes sense,
But not a phone,
the
an
phone.
iPhone at 4.
Not an iPhone. Maybe a BlackBerry.
I don't know.
Hey, that was one of my favorite phones. Was a little BlackBerry.
That was one of my first phones.
It was pink. It was a hand-me-down from my mom.
Mine was
It had
black.
a little spin dial on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the what is it?
Ghosts?
I know. I saw.
Paranormal
I
activity.
got us
No,
off topic.
there's this one time I was maybe like 5, 6, and you know when you're little you want to go sleep with your mommy. Ain't nothing wrong with
I
that.
know I hate that phase. I can't get my daughter out of my full
Yeah,
bed.
right now it's just like
And
please.
she takes up all the space.
But I would wake up in the middle of the night, and there would literally be white figures just sitting still in the room, like 4 or 5. And then she had like this dresser with the mirror, and I see a big old face just plastered on that mirror.
I'd piss myself.
Oh, I put the blanket over my head and I said, I'm going night night.
You know, that reminds me of a time. I mean, I was probably like 8 or 9, and it was Easter, and I don't know what I was doing. I walked out down the hallway. I'm looking in the living room, and it was at my grandparents' old place, and I thought I saw the fucking Easter bunny
I think that's
standing
hallucination.
standing on the counter. So I fucking freak out. I run down the hallway and I get my Nana. I said, Nana, the Easter bunny is in the kitchen right now. I remember the look on her face. She was like, to what? And she walks out there with me. It was literally just a fucking bread basket. But that goes back to what I was following up with you. Do you think it was just, something in your head?
No.
Because it's kind of weird that
'Cause
a
it
lot of the
wasn't-
paranormal activity stuff happens.
It wasn't the first time that I've seen it.
Like, why?
It's
why
like
are ghosts,
multiple times.
maybe not just ghosts. Why does paranormal activity happen mostly at night?
Well,
Because everything is settled.
yeah, but your thing made me remember something. So when we got married, we had pictures taken and stuff, right? And I have a picture of me walking down the aisle that there was no sun. It was like sunset, and it just has all these little white, bright spots on it. And
Those
in
are
my
called orbs.
yeah, and that I like completely forgot about that whole story. But I showed it to my mom and my grandma, and they both were like crying, and they were like, "I think that's your grandpa. He was so excited because he passed right after."
Ooh, I
I
got
think,
goosebumps.
right after we got engaged, or like right before, and she was
So on the
he
digital
talked
copy on the
about it.
photo, is it there?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it might just be the lens of the camera?
I don't think so.
That
No.
captured that photo?
You can tell. It looks like it wasn't something like that because all the other photos don't have that. It's just that one photo. And I showed it to them, and they kind of started crying because they said before he passed, he was so sad that he wasn't going to be able to make it. Because I was the first granddaughter and stuff, so it kind of gives me goosebumps. And I can't believe I
I don't
forgot
think
about
that photo
story.
was edited in any
No.
type of way.
Yeah. And I can't believe I forgot about that story, but yeah.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah.
So I've always thought about this. I mean, I don't know. It's not out of the realm of possibilities of the world we live in, right? What if we are part of a simulation and these are just glitches in the simulation?
Is that like what's it called? Is that like what they call the Mandela effect or something?
No, that's kind
Like,
of.
where they say like everyone remembers this, but that's not
Just
the
like
way-
the Fruit
it's
of
like a glitch.
It's
What is
part
it
of it,
called?
yeah.
The Fruit of the Loom logo?
Yeah.
Dude, there's so much shit
But have you heard
that we remember that
Mm-hmm.
apparently never existed.
Yeah.
have you heard these people who are like joke around or whatever that's like, could you imagine if we're just like someone's game like The Sims or some shit?
No, I mean,
But I mean that's a simulation. but,
if
you know,
that's the
yeah,
case, I do need my
person to get
my
life
operator
insurance.
to add some more money in the bank and
Yes.
Right.
level me up.
Yeah, for real.
100%.
But like, what if, like, some other realm outside of our conscious created
I
that
mean,
did what happened,
yeah,
but on a different level,
right.
that this is all a simulation of something bigger, because we created the Sims, but what if the characters in Sims are just like us,
Yeah.
experiencing these conversations, these thoughts
Well, I don't know if you've ever.
on a
You
different
sound-
level?
You sound crazy. You
I
that?
know, it's weird.
I don't know if you've ever played Sims. I used to when I was younger.
You still do.
I don't do it as much, but I have the game. They have that game on the game. Like The Sims play Sims. Like
So we created a game that potentially is us, and then they created a game
right.
that's something else
Like there's an
inside of a game.
There's an option on Sims to like get on your computer and play Sims. Like
And-
it's literally an option. It's so that's so funny.
You know what made it more wild, this theory? Because it is a legit theory out there.
Mm-hmm.
But over the last 5 years, we have witnessed major event, major event, major event, major event.
Yeah.
Civil unrest after the George Floyd protests, the Corona pandemic that wasn't really as big as it seemed, but then it was.
Yeah.
And then we witnessed, governmental control on levels we've never seen before. Major natural disasters. Just crazy shit just keeps happening and happening and happening.
Like that what was it? What did they call it?
Wait, hold on. The
laser?
United States government just confirmed there's fucking aliens.
Oh yeah, and they live in the ocean. Did you see that shit?
They live in the ocean. They live outside of our planet. Like, there is so much that they have just uncovered that nobody's really talking about. Like,
Maybe it's
what the fuck is going on?
Maybe it's
They've
a
just
distraction.
decided to stop hiding it.
And this has all happened within the last couple years.
I really, have you heard the theory that they're just telling us all this shit to hide stuff from us? Like, oh, we're gonna make you focus on this while we go do all this other stuff.
Oh, dude, that's absolutely happening.
Oh yeah. Like, we're gonna tell you about aliens so you won't pay attention to all this other shit we're doing.
Oh, you just wait until Donald Trump releases the JFK files.
Oh God.
Like, so much shit is. It just feels like we're in a whole different dimension right now. Like, what if the world really ended in 2012?
Then what?
And this is just a whole
purgatory?
Yeah. What if we all died? Have y'all? I mean, I don't think any three of you guys have seen the TV show Lost.
No, you got us to try and watch it, and I was so
the way it
confused
ended,
what was going
they're
on.
all dead. So there's like 6 seasons, but they're all dead. So each episode and each season gets weirder. They start finding these little civilizations and labs and weird shit going on this island that they're stranded at.
Uh-huh.
But they're just dead.
What is the point of it? They're just like dreaming? Well,
It's a life after a life that you didn't know existed, but it's still your life. It's just altered.
So weird.
Yeah, it's insane. Absolutely wild. Lacey, we were just talking about like Mandela effects or the Mandela theories, and
don't get me started on Mandelas.
It's just weird.
Mine are exciting, but mine are weird. Like,
Lacey just came back. She was dealing with the children, but she's back.
Nate,
Fruit of the Loom. That is a real one.
Yeah.
Or the Berenstein Bears. How it's not the Berenstein, it's Berenstain.
Yeah, that's not right.
Well, tomato, pecan.
No, I remember it. Bernstein Bears and not Stain.
There's a whole Mandela effect on it.
Yeah.
But I'm real big into certain conspiracy theories and Mandela effects.
You follow this really weird dude on YouTube. He's so annoying. I
love him.
He's so annoying, but there was this one conspiracy theory he did on Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh God.
And what he did on Ghost DoorDash.
Yeah, you liked the one about Chuck E. Cheese. And then you liked the one about Ghost DoorDash and like Great Value versus name brand, or like how
it's all the same
stores
shit.
Do their version.
But it's literally manufactured by the mother company.
I was just about to say that. It's literally the same people that make it.
Girl Scout cookies. It's the exact same brand Walmart uses.
Yeah.
Ice cream, the Great Value ice cream at Walmart is Bluebell ice cream.
But do you know what pisses me off is they sell it for so much cheaper than the original stuff. Like, why not just sell the original stuff?
It's all contracts. And if you read the canisters, and you look at the company, it's the exact same company.
That's just
like Bluebell. If you read a Bluebell container and you go to Great Value, they're both manufactured by a different company. Bluebell's just the name of it. Great Value is just the name of it. But if you look deeper, it's a whole different company that manufactured the ice cream. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Listen,
But that dude was crazy with the whole Chuck E. Cheese thing, them reusing their pizza. That is real because there's never a pizza that's exactly
just
a circle.
A hypothetical.
I've never heard that. The
I never
conspiracy
heard
theory
that.
fiction.
He got super
it's
sued for
crazy.
this too, but it's really weird.
I think I'll show y'all the video tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
I have
Like Fruit of the Loom, like
that one.
that
one
whole
is
logo
so true.
was changed.
Yes. And they're trying to
The
like
cornucopia has always been there.
It's
they're
always
trying to
been there.
gaslight people into thinking that
It hasn't been.
It
I
was
know.
always
It's
that way.
crazy.
Yes. They're just
Those are the kind
gaslighting
of
us.
conspiracy theory Mandela effects that I like. I don't like the ones about like aliens and stuff like that because I can't keep track.
But they're real.
I
You know,
They're
honestly-
real and they live in the ocean. They
What's
say.
the one show we watched?
What? I watch a lot of shows.
Give me a second. Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh,
After I
Skinwalker
watched
Ranch.
that show, I was like,
So that guy
you could
on the
never tell
show,
me
that
anything
scientist,
else.
I can't remember his name. I'll have to find that later. But he's the one that invented the term UAP.
Yeah.
Fuck.
UAP. I don't know.
Unmanned aerial phenomenon or
Yeah.
something like that.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah, so he invented that term, and he was assigned to the governmental task force going after what all these UAPs, and he investigated the ones that were witnessed and recorded by fighter. Fuck, I'm losing what I'm thinking. The firefighter pilots,
The flight.
flight,
Fighter. Flight. Oh my god.
not
we're all
firefighter,
Having,
but
we're all having strokes here.
flight F-15 pilots.
We
We'll just say
understand what
that.
you're saying.
But from the United States military. So he was assigned to that task force, and that task force is the ones that had a report to the United States Congress, which ended up being released that aliens exists, or I'm trying to find the words to use here, but aliens exist. They're saying they potentially live in the ocean. There's been a lot of videos that have surfaced of UAPs coming out of the ocean and disappearing
Something
into
that's
the
supposed to
ocean.
live in
You know what?
space.
It makes sense though because
Come on, Atlantis is down there.
that and like
I'm sure it's real.
if I was coming from another
There's nothing
planet.
scarier than the ocean.
We are gonna sound like a
No.
bunch of fucking
I
loonies, but
know.
I love it.
But like think about it this way. If you were coming from another planet and you looked at this planet and you're like, oh, 70% of it is made of water and these humans only live on the 30. I'm going to go somewhere where they don't go. Like that just
Right.
makes sense.
Well, and if you think
And
about
like,
it,
how much of the ocean have we actually?
Exactly.
right? That's what I was gonna say.
You know?
The ocean
Yeah.
is so big. I think we've only
We haven't even
explored, like
I don't even-
4% total out of
Maybe
Exactly.
4%.
And
Maybe.
they have these ships that could, survive being in outer space and re-entry. They can survive those high depths of the ocean. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I definitely believe it. I might sound like a cuckoo, but
Yeah, there's-
The ocean is a scary place, and don't invite me.
There are some
go in the
times I
ocean.
wish I was abducted by an alien,
oh god.
just so I can go toe to toe with that
I don't
motherfucker.
think I'm that
Now
crazy.
you're crazy.
No, I just want to go toe to toe with him and maybe tussle a little bit. But I
No.
want to. If I could have a conversation with anybody or anything, it would be an alien.
The aliens don't want nothing to do with us because they look at us and they're like, these people are psycho. Look what they're doing.
But
to
what
their
if they're
planet."
actually
Right.
here to try to prevent something?
They're not doing a very good job.
Or is this all part of the plan?
Maybe.
I don't
They're
know.
gonna let us kill ourselves off, and then they're gonna take over Earth after.
I mean,
we
we're
die?
already
What-
killing ourselves. I mean, come on. Look at the shit that's in our food.
Oh god, don't get me started
Like-
on that.
Like, I'm actually looking forward to JFK. Like, if you go anywhere overseas, like they don't have any of these dyes or any of these
Well,
extra shit in their food. If you look at the ingredients to cornflakes overseas, and you look at the ingredients to cornflakes in America, there's a bunch of shit that
Processed
does
sugar.
yeah, it doesn't need to be in there. Let's
well, what about the fact that people who I can't handle dairy very well, But there's so many people who are the same way, and they go overseas and they can eat all the dairy they want.
Because there's none of the processed
Exactly.
garbage and chemicals that are put into it. Like, I mean, this is part of the reason that Nate and I have gotten into hunting and providing, meat and food for our families. Like, our next thing was like, we're gonna buy a whole fucking cow. Like,
Yeah.
the meat from farm raised cattle that goes from the farmer to the consumer, the meat even looks different.
It's not pink, they say. It's more.
It's not pink at all.
Brown because it doesn't have any.
It doesn't have any of that bullshit in it, and all the preservatives and everything. We don't need that shit, and that's the shit that's killing us. Because if you look at our life expectancy in the United States versus anywhere else in Europe, we fucking suck, and we have the most claims when it comes to the healthcare system. Like, the amount of people that go into hospitals for diseases like diabetes and lactose intolerance and what is the other one with the gluten allergies?
Yeah.
Like, we have more of that than anywhere else in this country.
Yeah.
And that's because of the shit that's in our fucking food.
But that's crazy, though, that some of these insurance companies don't want to pay for shit like that. But they're causing it.
As of yesterday, remember?
I know. They're gonna fix it now.
And honestly, like, I feel for Brian Thompson's family.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's got 2 kids and a wife, and that video of his assassination was played over and over and over and over again on all media platforms. It's not his fault. Like, that's just the way all insurance companies in the United States operate. They're just by far the worst at denying claims. Yeah. They deny more claims than any other insurance provider. But I mean, that's what we created in the United States. That's not his fault. He's just the CEO of the company, but he ended up paying the ultimate price for it. And I feel bad for him and his family. But we're gonna take a short intervention. We're gonna take a short. We're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. We had to deal with the animals real quick, but we are gonna close out this episode, and I'm gonna give Nate here the honors to do so.
So here's the random fact of the day. Did you know that a cow is more aerodynamic than a Jeep?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's a picture online that has a cow and like the little, colors of how the wind would work.
Yeah.
There's more green on a cow than it is a Jeep, like a Jeep Wrangler.
Is that because the Jeeps are like square and the cow is more round?
Maybe. But they're like, it's pretty much like the same size.
So you're telling me it's safer to ride a cow than it is to ride a Jeep?
No, it's safer to ride a cowboy, baby. Let's go upstairs.
Hey, yo, what is going on?
What is it?
This is having a whole 180.
Anyways, I did want to. You mentioned cows, and we have the far left side believes that cows are causing global warming because of the amount of gas they let go. They let go of so much carbon dioxide that they are causing global warming. That sounds like complete fucking horseshit.
Really?
You haven't heard that?
No, never.
Carbon dioxide is good for trees and for grass.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at any sort of imaging, like, we have more green now than we used to have.
Yeah. I mean, it's just none but buildings now.
You know what? We're going to do some research on this topic, and we are going to bring this back for the next episode.
Yeah.
Cows in the
I
environment.
did not know that at all.
You would think cows would be good for the environment. They fertilize the ground.
Yes, but you guys stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of Cows versus the Left.
What a topic.
Thanks for joining the Vorcast tonight,
you're
guys.
screwed.
You guys have a good night.